you accepted the one
For the year-end.
year end? I'll second that.
Roll call in.
Yes.
Peggy? Abstain. John?
Yes.
Also read the ones for the organization meeting last week. Same thing, I would accept those.
I'll second it.
Roll call in.
Yes.
Peggy? Yes. John?
Yes. Communications, nothing of vast importance, just a few little last items being delivered. Everything's kind of hectic on the year end and the year beginning, so. The only, did I report? No. About the DUNS number for the park grant.
I did send all that information over to him. I've not heard back from him, but, and I don't know whether I will. Maybe he just needs it and we're ready to rock and roll.
Did you talk to, okay.
Ryan, somebody I talked to.
Okay. You got recycle rate change in here. Was that?
That's the thing I called Don about.
That's for,
Yeah, it's not.
did we appointed?
No, we did not. And that form is in there.
Okay.
We said we would do it at the next meeting, so that's.
Regional planning.
And then we said we'd talk about the old timer recommendations that they have for us.
Okay. We'll do that later on underneath the administration. Okay, financial reports.
I read through them. That being said, I will accept the financial information as presented by the FO.
Second.
Roll call in.
Yes.
Peggy? Yes. John?
Yes. Moving to department reports, fire department, old business.
Be up there.
Well, it's not, I
It's not
don't think
working.
it's on, is it?
No,
Okay.
speak loud,
Just
Tom.
talk loud.
Okay. First thing, old business, volunteer firefighter dependents fund. They sent me a letter out, and they're asking for, tax information on the taxable base here, so I got ahold of Janet Esposito, and I never got it back yet today, so hopefully I'll have it tomorrow, and I can send that in. And on another note, we did not receive the firehouse sub-grant. We had applied for pagers and radios, and the grants were announced on the internet, and we were not in the list. But further down the road, we may have to start looking at buying some more pagers. I think, pretty much my opinion for now, the March radios thing can be put on a shelf until we see what's going on with it now. And we also have 3 proposals for the new ambulance we're looking at. I have copies for all 3 of the trustees there, I've already passed them out. The first one, McCoy Miller from Burgess Ambulance Company, $225,261. The second one, Lifeline, which is from P-Fund Company, is $246,862. And the third one, Road Rescue, which is also from Burgess Ambulance Company, is $227,873. Pretty much all we've got for, all I've got for old business.
Those are all similar chassis, same chassis, correct?
Same chassis, same everything, well, except for the box. The, Lifeline and the Road Rescue, everything on those is welded aluminum. The McCoy has wood, inside wood cabinets and everything. The Lifeline and the Road Rescue both have all aluminum in there, there's no wood in it. No wood in the floors, walls, anything. Everything's welded aluminum. Basically, the biggest difference between the Lifeline and the Road Rescue is $19,000 difference in the price. I believe the road rescue is a little taller box and that gives you a little more headroom. I think it's 170 inches if I remember right. Anybody has any questions on that, I'll try to answer them about the bus along. And I talked to the distributor of the Burgess Company, and he said he would be willing to come to the next trustee meeting if you guys want him here. He can answer any questions.
I was gonna say, let's read this over, look
Yeah.
it over, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Moving on to new business, we just received an application, when I was back about Christmas time, we received an application from another resident to join the fire department. I'm trying to get a hold of him to set up an interview time, and then hopefully at the next meeting, I'll bring his information up and present it to the trustee board. And I also applied today for a $1,000 grant from Otarma. Linda sent me the paperwork on it. So I emailed it in to him today. That's all I've got for new business. I give to the department report now. Okay, monthly department fire department run report for December. We had no structure fires, one vehicle machinery fire, no brush, open burn fires, one wires down, no CO calls or trees down, and we had 2 other fire incidents. EMS, we had 2 MDAs, 7 transports to UH Portage, 3 transports to Alliance Community, 1 transport to Akron City, and 3 non-transport EMS incidents. We gave mutual aid 2 times and received it 0. There were no call-outs for either the Portage County Fire Investigation Unit or the dive team. Gave us a total of 22 incidents for the month. 2 of those were confirmed COVID calls.
Where did we end up last year on total calls? Do you,
Last year, we had 303 calls. This year, we had 304. On the fuel report, for the road department, we have a total of 12.7 gallons of gasoline and 199.3 gallons of diesel fuel. Let's see, for the fire department, we have a total of 33.2 gallons of gasoline and 52.9 gallons of diesel. That's everything I've got, unless you guys have any questions for me.
anything from the board? Okay. We'll move on to the road department. There's a few issues. One issue is the reappointment of Tim as road supervisor.
Okay, if you will let me take the floor,
Go ahead.
I will satisfy everybody here. Okay, I wrote out, I'm going to approve Tim's reappointment as road supervisor. After much consideration, I agree to approve this, but we need to look into the employee benefit package again in the near future. Having said that, I move to reappoint Tim Whittlesey as road supervisor for the 2021 year at a rate of $22 per hour based on 2,080 hours, including the benefit package, and instruct the fiscal officer to adjust his next pay to add funds not included in his first paycheck of the year.
His first paycheck of the year would have been for 2020, so the raise does
It
not
hasn't
apply
come
in
yet?
there to that until his next pay.
Okay.
So the adjustment we made.
Right.
Okay, then just, all you have
And I'll
to do is
second
scratch
that.
the fiscal part there, Linda.
Okay. And you could give me a copy of that thing, or you just want me to?
I've got a copy here of what I stated written out. Not of the motion itself.
Okay. Okay, you second, Tom?
Yes.
Roll call in. Peggy?
Yes.
John?
John?
Yes,
Now, I wanna make it clear, I had no problem with Tim or Milton, none whatsoever. I do have concerns that it is costing this township salary plus insurance, $131,255.04. We are a small community, the workers pay nothing towards their hospitalization. I don't think it's unfair to ask for something. That is a lot of money.
well, I agree with you in the one sense that we should look into this, and that we can do that along with, I gave you back some notes on your, employee handbook, the package, whether you agree with them or not. I have an arbitrary, the 10% is an arbitrary number.
That's a number I threw out
Right,
because it was the lowest that I'd seen any other township except for the ones that no longer give insurance, but give them a raise in their pay and they get their own insurance. And as far as the policy, it wasn't given to you to go through and pick. I expected some help on it. I'm waiting for what information you came up with so we could work
Okay.
together. That's what you said we were going to do.
All right.
Can I say something, John?
Yeah,
I've been coming to meetings for about 30 years, and I add up things and so forth. I added up at the end of the year, we're gonna have over $80,000 just in hospital days. With the new employee.
Well, I don't know what.
Right now, it's 60-some thousand. It's gonna be over 80,000. And if the road and bridge fund don't pass, how are you gonna pay these people? It's gonna have some consideration.
We have to discuss this. This is not, well, we have to discuss it. Let's
it's
put it
gotta
that
be
way.
discussed further, but the point is, if we just went ahead and charged them now, it would be a decrease in their salary. And I'm totally against that, especially this time, in this situation we're in.
Well, I wanted to
entirely right
discuss
now.
it with you fellas and couldn't even
So-
get anywhere to doing that, so we're further ahead right here than we were.
Along again, like I said, with that handbook, we're gonna have to schedule, let's get out of this first of the year, but I'd like to
Yeah.
schedule a work session and sit down and have some
Well-
public input on, just, that would have to be a public meeting. I'd like to have that on a separate day other than a meeting
That's
night or
fine.
anything else, so.
But that wasn't given to you for you guys to vote on and accept everything. It was what I worked months on, reading other policies to try to come up with something that was fair to the workers. This, not a vendetta like everybody
And
seems to think.
Well, we'll get into that
All right.
in a later
Here's
discussion.
the numbers.
Okay,
I do this every year, both in the account at the beginning of the year and what's at the end. General fund gains 30.3%.
Mr. Whittlesey, can you please speak up? We can't hear you. in the
Okay,
back.
I'm sorry.
The
That's
mic
not
will
on.
work.
that's not on.
Okay, there's all these different accounts, and they're separated because of source of income. So the general, I just compared from the beginning of 2020 to the end. I do it every year when we decide the fees. So the general fund gained 30.3%. For roads, there's 4 different funds, and they're based on, there's different sources of revenue. So out of those 4, 3 of them went up and 1 went down. So you put them all together, the road accounts altogether, not just individually, went up 23.9%. Okay. The cemetery lost 3.5%. Zoning lost 11.4%. For the fire station, there's 2 different accounts, there's one fire and one for EMS. You put those together, it gained 7.6%. So there's dollars there. Now to take it further, I'm thinking this right. So, you take $1 away, have them pay a premium, pay for that premium. So to make it even again, assuming they're in a 10% tax bracket, and that pay, that's where you'd be, with federal taxes only, nothing else. It takes another dime to make it even. That make sense? Okay? Also, they're gonna have another dime taken out because of their contribution to the state pension fund. So it takes another dime to make that up. Then you get into state income tax. You take a number from the federal and you go through all these wild gyrations till you get to the state taxable income. I didn't even try to figure it. It's gonna be something more. I don't know if it's gonna be 2 cents, it's gonna be 5 cents, who knows? But it's going to be something more. And then also, the township's going to pay out $1 more. The township's contribution is 14% for the pension. So there's 14 cents. Right off the top, it says $1.34 instead of $1.
May I ask a question?
What?
Your percentage you figured out there, that you got the $100 and some thousand that's gonna be done on the road this year?
I'm sorry?
Did you figure in your budget, the $100 and some thousand gonna be spent on the road this year?
No, I just looked at
How much was it, John?
He's just answering one question.
I don't know what's going to happen this year.
Well, this is already planned. It was bid on last year.
Don't do chip and seal. You can have all these materials.
I know you gotta budget money, that's all I'm saying. You have to budget the money.
You
And if
know,
you don't figure any expenses, those figures are no good.
the figuring those expenses for the road paving job that we're going to do this year in 2021, I had to bid it back in 2019, so I have to know the numbers from 18 to 20 to 21. And we're gonna be running, we did this when we paved German Church Road, and we still came out about even as far as percentages of the money. We had enough to carry over for our temporary appropriations, and we still had a few dollars left in the account, well, the one quite a bit. What's hurting us, the only screwball in this whole situation is the new gas tax they passed. We can make it with what is structured under the old gas tax with the numbers that came in for the first half of last year. We'll be okay on the roads. It'll be,
That's only if that's levy passes,
Yeah.
renewal levy
There's
passes.
no levy. There's no levy.
Well, it's a renewal levy.
No, he's talking about the fuel tax.
yeah, no, but the levy was still collecting this year.
Yes.
The levy will still collect through this year. So I'm not worried about this year.
Right.
It's the following year, 21, 22. So I'm not gonna bid in the next round of Ohio Public Works Commission works because we won't have, I don't know those numbers going forward in 2023.
Right.
And I have to know what's prior 2 years to what's looking out past 2 years. So it's not just what's in the pot now. I have to project what's gonna be in there and what was in there and make the best decision on what I can do with the monies. Last year, we saved a little bit, we cut back on our chip and seal. That money will go towards some of the paving and that'll cut part of the cost this year. I did that as a as a money savings to make sure that we get this paving done on the 2 roads that I had scheduled for this year. That'll be going out for bid.
And as far as
And
I
that'll
know-
make sure that we're good up through the following year, up till 2022.
And John, as far as I know, you weren't figuring on touching the, general fund at
No.
all. You have
We
to
can
be
always
very
take money
careful
out of
with
the general fund. I just wanna make
Right.
the road department self-sufficient on what they do. That being said, the levy is another renewal, and it's still it's a levy that was passed back in the nineties, so we're not getting the full extent of the money that we could possibly get now.
But
With
you're
the new census coming out.
banking on that pass. What if
It can
done
fail and it won't affect our paving this year.
No.
this year?
This year or next. That's what I said, that's why I'm not gonna bid, round 35. Ohio Public Works is already out now, and I'm not even looking at doing anything. We have some decent roads in the community, the only thing I wanna do is make sure we stay on our 5-year plan as far as, crack sealing and chip and sealing what good pavement we've already got some of the best pavement in the county down here, so believe it or not.
One more thing to say, John, we do have to protect that general fund money, for the fact there's never been a general fund levy passed in the history of Atwater Township. People will not pay for it because wages are set in. We had the, streetlights, we didn't have money to pay streetlights back in the 70s and 80s.
That's why you gotta protect it, Linda knows that.
And on the streetlights, we assessed the homeowners, and that went away
It was put on the homeowners.
4 years ago. That went away. The township also.
Yeah, we had fire money, it just helped us out all those years.
No question.
Well, yeah, people got used to having money coming in like that, and that's not,
Yeah.
you can't do that. You have to look at what's coming in. You gotta be self-sufficient, let's put it that way.
There's a
There was a
person
question?
over there.
Yes.
There's a question.
What is the benefit package? What does it cost? I don't want a gross number, I want to know what the benefit package costs.
It doesn't cost them anything right now.
Yeah.
What's
The community pays for
No,
it.
the township, what does it cost the township?
We've asked that question
It's
several times.
$13.59 for employee, spouse, family.
for healthcare coverage.
For how much?
It costs us,
Well, the full amount that's paid out per full-time employee on here is $1,958.96.
that last month, they gave us a discount on it. The price is 19.
So it's a little less than $2,000 for families,
A month.
a month,
How
yes.
much?
2,000.
$2,000 a month per
It's
family?
39, or $3,900 and some dollars for the two,
$3,917.92 a
for the
month.
two full-time employees, for their spouses and for their health care a month. Which comes out to roughly,
That
Well,
comes out
you were
to-
close enough to 2,000 there.
say, yeah,
A month for each of them, so that would be 24, about $48,000.
about $48,000 a year for insurance for them.
Per person.
No,
yes,
that's together.
no,
Yes, it does.
For
2,000 a month times 12 months.
Is 24.
48,000.
Oh, that's right,
For
48.
And 48 is for the two of them.
48 for the two of them.
Yes.
And we paid roughly $60,000 because they also cover the elected officials, of which I don't take the insurance and Lynn don't take the insurance. And that's fine too.
But you
That's
guys
the way
get
it's
money
written
back.
up. We can take it or we can't, or we can, not accept it.
Okay, so there's only one of the officials
Two.
taking.
there's two of us.
Yeah,
Linda and I.
and they cover their
It's a
spouse.
supplemental, it is not.
It's not a full coverage.
How much is that one?
200.
That one is,
242 paid?
Something like that.
242 a month.
242?
But if you were retired, it would be
Yeah.
Right.
much more. Here's my opinion on the part-time thing. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I understand state statute says you can do that for elected officials. I disagree with that. Where would you find a part-time job with insurance?
Exactly.
It's a supplemental insurance policy that Linda and I are both willing to pay a percentage of or pay.
No, I'm saying that you're.
It's not in the 2,000 range at all.
Zero.
Yeah, part-time is usually zero.
It's,
benefits.
And the
Well-
concept
no,
is,
it's 300.
the state is encouraging folks.
The discount is two,
You
sorry.
say 300 compensated for it. I disagree with you.
But you also passed a
Because when I look at
resolution
the
here that if you can get reimbursed for payment of your hospitalization through your wife or whatever, you would accept that, Lynn, so you can't have it
Yeah.
both ways.
That's
You
what
can't
I-
condemn me
I was fixing
without condemning yourself.
For you.
Well, you did it before, correct? Did it happen before? Did you take it before?
Roughly, their benefit package is about $5 an hour.
I'm sorry?
Their benefit package is about $5 an hour.
Yes.
No, it's 10
No,
million.
not 11.
There's two, 48,000.
Well, we're gonna talk about putting it in piers.
Huh?
We put.
Well, he's talking
in
Well, you gotta do
insurance.
that regardless. That's not gonna change.
That's part of the benefit package.
No, I'm talking about
Insurance.
No,
insurance.
insurance, no, it's
You're
48,000.
gonna pay peers whether you want to or not.
The taxes are non-issue because you're gonna pay taxes no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Whether
Well,
it's a
peers
state
is
or local.
retirement, huh? It's 48,000.
The only thing
for
above that is the insurance, which is $48,000, but then again,
So roughly $5 an hour.
roughly, yeah.
I would say.
And our
That's
guys
not
are
very
on,
much.
and our guys are on the,
I'm not
lower to
talking about
bottom
the
area
hours,
of the
sir, I'm
pay.
talking about the whole year.
per,
There's concerns here.
What?
I have concerns here. I don't want to break our funding.
The road department's tapped into the general fund before.
Yeah.
No.
I take that 1995.
I don't know what you're talking about, so.
With Fred Marks,
What about Fred?
Here's another thing to consider.
Fred paid for his insurance.
Here's another thing to consider.
Fred paid for his.
Nobody is trying to do
No, he
harm to
didn't pay for all.
anyone. You
He paid for
guys are
things.
here thinking people are trying to harm someone. No,
I'm not saying that, I'm saying that
It
$5
sounds
an
like
hour
it.
is pretty damn cheap.
you're blowing it off. You're blowing it off. $20,000 for insurance a year is not cheap.
Real quick, how many
Per family,
departments-
that's not cheap.
How many departments do we have with full-time employees that receive benefits? I'm just,
well, now, we just hired, as of the reorganizational meeting, we will have a full-time paramedic down during the day shift at the FD.
cause I just feel like this is more.
Prior
of
to
an issue.
that, the fire chief, Mel Russell, who passed away, God rest his soul, was the full-time employee down there.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like this is an issue insurance-wise, kinda needs, you can't pick and choose which department.
We're not
And-
picking and
and-
choosing,
and
sir.
That's,
I'm just, as a citizen, I'm just trying to make sure that's not.
But we just hired this young lady. I don't know what her insurance is going to be
I mean, I'm not
at.
accusing of it at all, I'm just saying for.
I also made the statement when
All right.
she was hired that she would possibly have to pay 10% of her hospitalization.
No, I'm
now, and it's always been a subject with the board. Lynn was always ouchy about paying it for Mel, and Mel was as high as, or was higher.
It was high, yes.
His was higher.
His
His was a
It
little
was high.
higher due to certain
Because of his age.
expenses,
And is that why it went up?
but, the board always covered his expenses, his insurance.
Yes.
I felt, and I still feel, that's part of their employee package, and it'll take an act of God to change my mind about that. Because I believe that is part of something that they should be,
If you pay for one, shouldn't you pay for all?
exactly.
We do pay for the
And-
now,
and-
Jack.
and
You know,
everybody-
As
what
of
are you
last
talking
meeting, you
about?
didn't, you paid for everybody's but Tim's, and
When?
it's just more of your vengeful attitude.
Oh,
And
no,
everybody is
when?
sick of it.
Well, I don't care if you're sick of it. I've never been,
You better start
I have
then.
never mistreated Tim, period. I don't have that attitude. I have concerns about the township.
We'll
You
keep
can't-
this,
You must be in another realm.
we'll keep this meeting,
You're,
keep this
Continue,
meeting
John.
civil.
Well,
I
then
have
shut your system.
an email
Yes,
that I sent to Peg on April 20th, 2016. It's public record, I printed it off. Last week I stopped the FD to take pictures of 85 Chevy, 4-dice tanker.
I need you to speak louder, Lynn, you know I can't hear you.
Last week I stopped the FD to take pictures of the 85 Chevy, 4-dice tanker. Too late, it was already gone. While there, I observed the station was short-staffed. Mel was the only one on duty. I inquired if he had advised you of the situation. Mel said no. Also, due to the reorganization for 2016, Mel said he asked you if FD personnel were to report staffing situations that were not per the regular schedule. Your answer was no. Mel indicated Danny Gerber did not require notifications also. Please explain your unilateral policy of this versus your past action for the road cemetery
Are we gonna
park
play all night,
maintenance center.
John, or are we gonna have a meeting?
So I sent that on April 20th, and I resent it on May 2nd, and to this day I never have gotten an answer.
And what did I tell you? I told you I will not respond
Because
to
you
you on
writing.
No, I told him, I have Tim, when I was in charge of the roads, it was Tim and Dave. I do believe it was Dave at that time.
It was Dave Aldridge.
Anyway, I had them call, Tim had a horrific accident, a terrible accident. No, I don't wanna take a chance on anything like that ever happening again. There's only 2 full-time guys in the road department. I need to know if one of them's missing, because I need to make sure the other one is safe. And that's what I told this man. Whether you believe it or not is up to you.
All right.
Well, you can shake your head. I don't
Can I
care if
say
you believe it or
something?
not.
I would just like to clarify something on that point since it's brought up. You know, according to my husband, he was told he needed to report off to pay. When he asked if Dave Aldridge needed to report off, it was no.
No, that's not
So
true.
why would it be about this?
They both had to report off. Stay calm, Jackie.
All right,
Just to
so,
clarify.
Just
why
like
she
you
did
did
the
last
one-
No, they
meeting.
both had to report off. I needed to know. And if Dave wasn't gonna be there, I always knew he wasn't gonna be there. No.
There's just been too many things that you have done to Tim Whittlesey. And in the background and everything else. That's why people are here, okay?
I can't even understand what
All
you're
right,
saying.
now-
Say it again.
Stand up, Beth, and come up front.
I can't hear
I don't
you.
need to come up front. I don't need to come up front. Listen, it's been going on for too long.
What?
Okay? All the little stuff that you pull with him, it's always on Tim and it's not on anybody else.
That's not
And he
true.
is tired of
Yes,
it.
it is.
He feels it. Why would he feel that if you weren't doing it?
Whatever you feel towards Lynn should not be part of township
He has,
government.
Tim has done
And whatever
nothing
you're
to
doing
you.
to
I can't
Tim,
hear 2 people
Okay,
talking
Tim
at
has
one
done
time.
nothing to you. He has respected you when you were.
I've done
elected.
nothing to Tim, and if he
You
says
keep
I
talking over
have.
her, why don't you let her talk?
Let her
You
talk.
keep talking over her. We can't hear her because you keep talking over
Thank
her.
you.
and this
I've
needs
got a
to be
whole
heard.
list in my folder.
John,
Do
let's
Listen,
go.
I have to listen
just
to
let me
this
have my
stuff,
say,
John?
please.
Are you in control?
And then I will sit
Let her
down
speak.
graciously.
Let her speak.
Listen, he's got a whole list in here of stuff that's gone over the past 15 years he's been dealing with this. 15 years.
15 years, I
Yeah,
haven't
since you
been
got
on
upset
as
at him
trustee
for
for
figuring
15.
out misappropriation of funds or whatever. 15
No.
years.
Yeah.
You can deny it all
Whatever,
you
you know,
want.
I'm not gonna
It's
argue with you.
documented, so, you know, she writes it down, but you don't.
I don't have to, I haven't done it
Listen,
wrong.
all he wants to do is come to work, do his job.
Do I bother him?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
When? You think you know so much, when do I even go over there?
You haven't lately, but it's
people
not.
follow
What do you mean I haven't lately? When I was no longer in charge of the road department, I have not bothered Tim.
Okay.
I
you
have
get it,
not
listen,
bothered Milton.
listen.
It's not my job to go over there, I don't go. I'm in charge of the fire department.
Let her talk.
Why do you have
Say
a
it.
camera feed going to your house to watch over Tim, but you don't have that over the fire department?
Say
Should that be at
again?
John's house if he's in charge of the road crew? Why are you watching the road crew from your house when John's in
How
charge
can
of the
I
road
watch
crew?
the road crew from my
What
house?
cameras are you, what cameras are at the garage, Peg? And how do they feed into your house? I know damn well they do.
The township paid for that. But you don't have it for the fire department, which you're the liaison for. So why are you worried about Tim and Milt? When you take care of your own people?
That kid has taken enough of this
Okay.
township.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. I have one thing to say to you.
John, please let her finish.
Quiet, go ahead, finish.
Listen. I'm gonna come over here some away from it. It's been going on too long, and it's not fair to take anything out on Tim, and he's over it, okay? He doesn't want to continue to take it. So the only other thing I know to do is to offer you Trustee Bainey an out tonight. Stop the nonsense, as of tonight, and it all ends. No bringing it up, no proving it to others, no continuing to speak to it by Tim nor I. Tim is professional enough to do what is best for this town and start a clean slate with you. But you have to be willing to stop the nonsense, and that includes Mr. Bainey's comments, which sometimes are a little
Yes.
slanderous.
Yep.
We will move forward as long as actions prove worthy, but no more making Tim feel like he's constantly being gone after. I know you know that he does more than a decent job. No more revving up innocent citizens on factless claims to go after him or any part of his employment. Just let it go. With the state the world is in right now, why do you want to keep fighting? Why do you want to keep fighting with him? It's ridiculous.
I'm not the one that jumps
Think
up and
about it.
hits the table and screams.
Let her talk.
Let her talk.
No.
Yeah,
Quiet! Continue.
Think about it. No explanation is needed, or wanted for that matter. Just a simple yes or no, but we need it right here, right now. Will you take this out I am offering and act on good faith towards Tim going forward?
I haven't bothered Tim, and I
Just yes or no.
Yes or no?
Yes or
I
no?
don't bother Tim, and it's my responsibility also as a trustee for everything in this township, the
For
same
once-
as these two guys.
For once
So
in
no.
your life,
No,
just say it.
Quiet.
leave
You
me
got your
alone.
answer.
Leave me alone.
All right. Now, is,
I've had enough from this, I don't need to hear it.
Then you shouldn't be right there.
People
All right.
don't know what you're talking
Oh, I
about.
know more than
Quiet.
you do.
You think you do.
now along with those cameras too, I also get the live feeds in my phone and I can bring them up on my computer at home. They're set up that way for the township, for these cameras in here, in the hallway. It's a matter of safety issue.
That's right.
That out back, and just this week, we replaced some lights here in the town hall for activated motion sensor lights, because we did have a break-in, and the lights, if we had lights shining on there, we would've got a better, clearer picture of the vehicle coming in and out.
Do you check those?
So I do check those cameras. I look at them, I wouldn't say more than maybe once a week, but I do keep an eye on what's going on down here. I know what's going on down here because I'm in daily contact with the two road guys. I know when they're not, I know if something comes up, if one of the kids got sick, I'm notified and I come down here to make sure the other one's fine. That goes for Milt and Tim. They both call me or text me just to let me know that they're taking a day off or half a day off, they got a doctor's appointment, whatever. They come to work and they get a scheduled doctor's appointment, I get a text, they know they can reach me at any time now.
Have you had any problems with the road crew, John?
No, none whatsoever.
So
And-
it's okay for you to have kept in touch with the guys, but it wasn't okay for me to make sure of their safety when I was in charge of
You
it.
do that?
I don't, I get, like I said, I get messages from them, or I call them on the phone. I'm not down here every day. I do come into town every day, but I'm not down here every day. When they are by themselves, or when the weather's bad, when they go out late at night, first thing in the morning, they're out at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
A lot of mornings I come down here and watch them leave. And they go home, and if they have a problem, or if one of them needs time off or whatever, I'm always available to help them out. So it's not like I'm not down here hawking them. me and Tim come up with a list in the springtime. He's working on it, him and Milt should be working on it now, of what we want to get done through the year. At the end of the year, we go back through there, and 2 years ago, we got that sign grant, which they had to put up 200 and some signs that was a curveball for them. And they took it right in stride, and we still got everything done. We got more than what we had on our list in the springtime. It just seemed, everything seemed to work together and just fall in place. So, with that being said, I think, you know, we should be appreciative of the two men we have down here, and I can only hope, and I can say that with the fire department too.
My only concern is when people show up on behalf of Tim,
And
later down the road, there's retaliation.
there,
In what way?
well,
I don't understand that.
You
I'm
do
not
keep
that.
down-
let's just let it lie for now,
Can we just act in good faith going forward?
and
And
that is,
everyone be
For
pleasant
the
to one
record,
another.
Linda, I
That's
intend
all
to
we want.
continue to do my job. If it involves the road workers, then I will be involved with the road workers.
and it's a matter of
And the
coordination
same
between the
goes with
liaisons.
John and Lynn. There's no stipulation that one person cannot speak to another, but I don't bother the road.
No, it's fine if you speak to them.
Nobody's bothering
Don't
them.
go
I don't
after
know
them.
where you're coming
But
She's
from.
asking for mutual respect.
Mutual
That's all
respect
he
is about what it's all come down to.
He wants to come in
And how
and
is
do his
am I
job.
disrespecting
Do
Tim?
you want
Yeah.
to
Let her finish
let
talking, that's how you disrespect her. If you
What?
had any respect for anybody in this room, you would let them finish speaking. There's not one person here tonight or in any meeting that I've watched over this year that you allowed them to finish speaking. If
Well, I'll
anybody
tell you
says,
what.
you're doing this right
You sit here and let people come at you and
now,
see
you
how
let
you
them finish
act.
speaking.
Let people come at you and see how you act.
All right, calm down.
Just a minute,
All
You
right,
heard me.
No, I did not.
just a minute.
You heard me.
I did not.
Just, can I say something, please?
I said, you let people come at you with accusations and nonsense and see how you act.
Why don't you listen to them and maybe you'll learn something?
Because I don't need to listen to stuff.
Do you, I'm just a question.
Enjoy.
Just a question, do you monitor your fire department personnel like you monitor Tim and?
I don't know. What do you mean monitor
You have
Tim?
keys and the cameras go into your house.
No, I do
Why do you
not.
have
And
to
neither
go
do they. So what's
Why
that
do you
mean?
have to go?
One more thing. The Whittlesey's would not make any of this, the Whittlesey's wouldn't make this crap up.
Oh, come on, Jack.
You know what, Peg?
What?
Your behavior at the last meeting
Oh,
was really, I'm sorry. If you're sick or if there's something wrong with you.
all right, they're being,
But your
Quiet.
behavior, you're talking, I'm sorry, John, let me finish.
let's go on with the meeting.
You're talking about making them sick, your behavior at the last meeting was inexcusable. And it's gonna
my
change.
behavior at the last meeting, dear. I was in an executive session and I had a man, a big man, jump in my face, spitting all over me, pointing his fingers at me, and I'm not supposed
All
to
right,
be
all
upset.
right, all right.
Well,
Move on with the road department.
If I could, one basic thing about,
See, that's mutual respect.
Quiet.
please, listen, it's very simple. I'm not saying that you would find, especially these bottom two rows of townships. They're farm guys, they're mechanics, they're truck drivers, they're nothing but bold people. They know what to do. You don't have to guide them. They're self-starters. They've been self-employed. They have businesses. They know what to do. Okay. So the meter's always running whether they're doing anything or not. So, I was so ticked off 2 years ago, ran up and all bent out of shape about the county roads. We had this big meeting with Mickey Rossi up there. And he went on and on and on about chip and seal and paving. And 45 minutes into it, he finally said the magic word. Water. Water. have to get rid of the water. So you get rid of the water, you spend less money on chip and sealing, you spend less money on asphalt, you save money. The meter's running, they're still getting paid, but they're doing something that's gonna save on their end. You really can't document that. You just don't know, but it's so basic. Another thing is, keeping the brush trimmed back. Oh my gosh, some of these areas around here, the brush is horrendous. They keep the brush hacked back because lets the road dry out, ditches don't get as plugged up. It's about the water. It's so simple. You're paying them to do that, but you're saving on the other end. Plus, okay, they just did a breakdown at halftime. And sent it out for $95 or $100 an hour. And you had sent it out to pay full list price on the parts you got for the net price. You don't spend time taking it over there, bringing it back, and messing around with all that stuff. They just know what to do, and they just do it.
There's repairs and stuff being made down here that I'm not aware of until after the fact when I see the bill comes in for the parts.
They just do it.
Or if it's
And then they get beat up for it. Or reward them for doing those things.
Absolutely.
over the years, they've saved a ton of money for the township by in-house
And John, I guess that's why the going after the premium, you know, it seems a little bit like it's another way to get the road guys.
and partially that is my fault for not putting, Tim and I sat down and discussed this for a few minutes. I'm gonna get a little better report on what they've done in the prior 2 weeks. We're at the meeting, so I can give you some insight. Like nobody knows the Ford pickup truck last summer, you know, they seen something was funky, they tore the rear end apart, they redid, put the gears back in, repacked it, and put it back on the road. They had it back on the road the next day. And all they had was the price of the parts and a little grease under their fingernails. Whereas we didn't have to take it to a dealership, or we didn't have to have it towed or anything else, and it's still in good service. Those I don't report on because I know it's being done. The boom mower or the excavator, they're boom mowing, and all of a sudden they thought it was a hydraulic leak. Here one of the seals broke. I come down, I just happened to be here, they were taking the cylinder off of the boom. And they needed a third hand because that's a heavy cylinder on the top of that boom. Got it on the floor, they broke it down, took it apart, ordered the parts that they needed. Next day, put it back together. I come down and help them lift it back up in there, in place. They put the pins in. In less than a day, they had it back working again. That's the kind of guys we have here. Those are the things I don't report because all I need to tell you is the boom mower was down. They fixed it. Not that they spent several hours doing it and getting it back on, you know, it broke down by noon one day, they had it back out the next afternoon doing what it needed to be done. Those are the things, instead of sending it to Lepo, delivering it up there, waiting a day for them, 2 days, 3 days for them to work on it, and then come back in 5 days, 6 days later, we're without a boom, you know, without it. These guys save, those 5 days save us a lot of money and time.
Is that included in his job description?
Is this thing heavy equipment?
Just yes or no?
They just do it.
They just-
There's a lot of people, the guys that work for the townships all over, the guys I know anyways, it's gotta get done, do it.
Hey, John,
That's all. Yes.
you know, Tim's certified.
I know
Tim
he's,
always goes there.
I
And you're
know,
saving money right there by him being in.
that's right.
I mean, he's certified air brakes, he's certified everything,
Certified diesel mechanic.
everything, just that guy. He saved you guys a ton of money right there.
Yeah, I know
This
that.
call turned into a bunch of bull crap as far as I'm concerned.
And if one of the farmers around here have a problem with their piece of equipment and they come down and pick his brain for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm not gonna bitch about it.
Plus, if the school need it, guess where they're at? At my place to get it, and I have no problem with that at all.
I'll tell you what, this boy does more for this township than he's getting let on.
Get it done.
I'll tell you that right now.
So, okay,
And on that note,
See you later, George.
have a good evening, George.
good seeing y'all.
It must be beer o'clock.
All right. Moving on with the road, other than that, Tim will be ordering some salt in the near future. We did finally get to use some. Like I said, today, they put the lights, the motion light out here, Linda noticed it. I didn't have to tell her, she noticed it, and they replaced the one out there that needs a little bit of adjustment yet on the north side of the building. And there again, they came in here to find out about those lights, and they went to turn the breaker on and it tripped out right away. So now they had to go figure out what the problem was with the lights before they can get the other new lights to replace the old lights. They got them working now. That one works, this one works, the one on the backside, there's still a question about that, and it's something to do between the wiring, between the box and the light, so they'll work.
I just wanted to make a comment about, and why do we have people in the last meeting say they caught the guy sleeping? Were they under the truck working on it? I just really insulted them. Is that all?
That was all after.
Now,
You would know.
After the meeting.
I take that with a grain of salt, and I don't believe half of what I see, let alone what I hear, so let's put it that way.
Well, yes.
The other thing is, there are road supervisor and maintenance workers, is how we have it listed underneath there. So they take care of everything, the plumbing in here, switches on the water tanks, on the pump. They fixed, years ago, there was a big problem with the grease trap. We found out what the problem was and fixed it. Haven't had a problem with that since 09 or 10, when I first got into office. That was one of the first things he did, and it seems to be working fine. There's never been another problem with that. So not only do they work on the roads, I feel that, and there again, this time of year, Larry knows, you getting up at 4 in the morning, going out and plowing roads. They get their 8 hours in, they go home, they're tired, unless it's a big snow event. I've seen them down there 18 hours. I know, I've helped them out. Dave was here at that time. They've been deathly sick and come in and worked. Luckily, we have a rash of COVID cases in the township now. A lot more people are getting exposed and everything. Our guys it's a struggle to keep them separated, and when you're working in close quarters like that, but between their personal life and work life, they manage to, knock on wood, be healthy. So, that being said, I can't say anything more about them. Tomorrow, what are they? I forget what they got tomorrow. And then there's then there are the cemetery sections on top of that.
Well, state, don't do that road like I was talking with the screw up out there.
Well, I'm not going there. But these guys, if you do see them sitting in the garage, they're probably working on something else on the tool bench or whatever. But they're waiting for a funeral procession to come in. Out of respect to the families and everything, they want to be quiet until the service is over, and then we go out and do what we have to do to put them in the ground. And they have to know those rules.